Hello and welcome to Recordholics Academy. My name is Gary, and if you're serious about making music and making it work, this is the place for you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why comparing yourself to others is useless. In today's world, it's very, very easy to compare yourself to others. I mean, it's probably easier than it's ever been with social media and the internet and the way that like everything is so connected. You can just hop on your phone within seconds, see somebody else that's doing something that, let's say, you think you should be doing, or that's finding success that you think that you should be having. And there are some elements of this that can be motivating. So it's not all bad, but it can be very toxic. So I actually have some notes about this and just points to hit. And like I said, like sometimes I will have that. So one point about this is, so you're on social media, you're scrolling, you see something that you just like hits you hard, like, well, why am I not having that? Why am I not seeing those amount of views or this or that? And the thing is that you're not seeing the full story. You're seeing the good parts, the successes. Those are the posts that are being fed to you. Those are the things you're seeing. You're not seeing that this person may have gone through some kind of crazy stuff to get to that point. They may not have, but they may have. And you don't know that. Maybe you could look into it and find out, but I feel like that's kind of useless to do. You're wasting your time doing that. The only reason you would do that kind of research to find out is so you could prove that to me or somebody else that's saying, like, you don't know the story or whatever. So, you don't know, and you don't need to know. You need to know, like, what you're doing. Okay. One of the other problems with this is that it creates doubt in you. Like, if you just focus in on what other people are doing, you start feeding yourself doubt all the time. You lose your motivation. You lose, the drive to do the things you need to do, because there's a lot of grunt work involved in building your music career. So when you're sitting out there and you're worried about what other people are doing and constantly comparing yourself to them and to their successes and to the things that they're actually out there doing, you're fueling your downfall. You're not pushing yourself towards success. It's pretty straightforward in that respect. Again, there's some element that could push you in this, but I feel like most people would be more likely to be pulled down by this rather than pushed forward by it. One of the other problems with this is that it's distracting. You're wasting time. When you sit and say, like, well, all these things I have to do to build my music career, that's going to take a lot of time and energy and stuff like that. And if you're sitting there too worried about what other people are doing, just in general, you are not spending the energy and the time on the things you need to be doing. So I've said this in previous video, but like with this type of thing, making music, building a career, head down, move forward. And that's sort of metaphorical. It's sort of like just like you're not literally constantly like this and just going, but like that idea that, you're not paying attention to all the crap that's happening. The earth is shaking and all kinds of crazy things are happening, and you're just walking forward. Tunnel vision forward. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. It's only going to hold you back. It's only going to hurt you. You can't win if you're worried about what other people are doing, what kind of timeline other people are on. You are your own person. Every single person is different. And that's in every single way, inside and out, situationally, mentally, psychologically, physically, every single way, every single person is individually different. Are there similarities between people and so on? Sure. But you are your own person. You're unique. So things are going to work out for you the way that they're going to work out for you, and they're going to work out for somebody else differently, on a different timeline, in a different way, with different details. It's just always going to be that way. It's never going to be the same. You're never going to be able to say, well, that worked out exactly the same for me as it did for you. Maybe similarly, right? And I'm sure you can point out some kind of instance where I'm wrong about that. But I think generally speaking, overall, and if you're looking at like the bigger picture of someone's career and career path and successes and failures, et cetera, they're always going to be unique, and it's never going to be the same. You could read a story about a famous artist, one of your favorite artists, let's say, and see how they progressed in their career and what they did first and this and that. And like, that doesn't mean that that's what you have to do. It just means that that's what they did. And sure, you can learn from certain things. It's definitely a good idea to learn from other people's stories. But you have to remember that your story is unique. And, there's so many different ways to access your goals. You have to find the route that works for you. Because you're doing it at this time and that person's doing it at this time, and they live in this place and you live in this place. And like, it's just, you have to embrace yourself and focus in on, your strengths, your skills, and be able to figure out ways to make those work for you in your career. I have a note here that says every artist has a different timeline. Some timelines might be shorter and some timelines might be longer. Some timelines might be really long. But again, I have said this before, if you're a musician and it's part of who you are, you're a musician for life. This is you for life. The whole picture is your entire life, your entire existence. So get a bird's eye view of that. Think of it as this long-term existence as a musician, and find a way to just get on the path and start walking, moving forward. There should not be a set timeline, a deadline for you. I've seen people do this before. If I don't blow up by this age, I'm gonna quit. Then quit now. Then, there is somebody that you should compare yourself to, and that's you in the past. What did you do last year? Let's look at the things that you have done in the last year, the last 2 years, whatever it is, and say, what has worked well for me and what has not? I was here at the end of last year, and at the end of this year, I'm in this position. Is it better? Is it worse? Can I be doing better? What can I be doing to improve myself so I can compete with myself? That's much more healthy than comparing yourself and competing with others. Music, there are some elements of competition that exist that can be, sort of fueling. But overall, music is one of those things where like competition, I think, restricts it. It harms the art. It harms the progression. I think that music is as an art form should be more collaborative, more if we're competing with each other, we're not helping each other. And if we instead help each other, join each other, support each other, we'll both go far, If we rise the tide around each other, both of our boats, or all of our boats, go up as the tide rises. So I think more of a collaborative mindset, if you can, instead of seeing somebody doing something better than you or succeeding more than you, instead of being harsh on yourself and comparing yourself to that, it would be more beneficial for you to reach out to that person, try to learn more about the techniques they've been using, where they learn certain things, what services they're using for what things, and, anything. Anything that can be positive, like a thing that can benefit you rather than make you think that you're doing something wrong, Look for that. If you set goals for yourself, not so much like, well, I'm going to have X amount of views by X amount of date, but more so about the amount of stuff you're going to do, about the work you're going to finish, the things you're going to release, things like that. Goals that are achievable, that are you doing these things to get them done. If you're focusing on that instead, you're going to grow. Incremental growth is the key here because it compounds. When you're growing incrementally in little bits, it eventually compounds where like, okay, now that incremental growth is larger increments, because it's now larger things compounding on larger things, and so on. So focusing on the work that you can do, the things that you can actually physically do, rather than things that are out of your control, like whether or not people are viewing something or liking something, or sharing something, Think about that. Think about those things that you can focus on, that you can do. Because a lot of times comparing yourself to others is really just an exercise in thinking about stuff that you have no control over. So think about the things that you do have control over. Set your goals based around things that you can do. And then move towards them and work on them. You can't just set goals and then hope they happen. You have to work. You have to put in that work. The goal should be, I'm going to make X amount of posts per week and X amount of videos per week, or whatever it is. I'm going to, finish building my email landing page by this weekend, and then launch that on my socials by Monday, and I'll make some posts, some videos and things encouraging people to sign up for the list. I'm going to write out X amount of emails and schedule them as part of the autoresponder, etc., etc. Those kind of things, you're building your foundation, your business. You can't lose if you focus on your career as a business. And you think about what a business needs, and a business needs customers. It needs people to see their product. So when you go to the store, a lot of times they want you to sign up with your text, with your phone number for text or your email, because they want to be able to contact you. They can contact you. They can send you a coupon. They can send you an offer. You can't send out an offer without having the ability to contact somebody. And you want contact information from people who might be interested in what you're offering, not just random people. So building your list of contacts is huge. So focus on that, because that will grow you. Once you have people's contact, you can send them the information about what you're doing, the videos you're posting, the content you're posting, the songs you're releasing, the shows you're doing, the merch you're offering. You can send that to all these people on your contact list. So if you're focusing on what's important in your business, because it's a business, it shouldn't matter what other people are doing. It really shouldn't. So focus in on what's important, and that's building your business. It's not anything more or less than that. And you can build your business fairly straightforwardly. You just put yourself out there, allow people to give you their information, give them an easy way to do that with a form, I've said this in other videos, with clipboards, in person, and things like that. Build your list, get yourself the ability to contact people. And as you're posting things and making videos and, putting songs out there and everything, send all that stuff to your list. Build a connection with them. Tell them stories on your list, and then eventually send them an email that says, hey, I just posted just built a new merch shop. I've got some merch t-shirts and stickers and whatever you have for sale. You send that to the list, and you keep doing that. You keep building the list, you keep sending those things. So think of this as your business. You have to. And you won't be so worried about what other people are doing, unless you're trying to learn how they're building their business to help you build yours. And that's it. Again, that's a positive thing, because you're reaching out to them and trying to learn from them. Not comparing yourself to them. There should be a distinction in that. If you're taking consistent action in your business, consistently, you should have no thoughts at all about what anyone else is doing. If you're taking consistent action, and even if it's not always the right action, you always have the ability to pivot. But if you're not taking any action, you can't change anything. You can't progress anything. You have to take action consistently. And that will, no matter what, it will result in positive results. You can't lose that way, because as you're taking that consistent action, you're involved in what's happening all the time. So you're thinking about what's working and what's not working, and then you shift to focus on what's working more than what's not working. And that's everything. That's everything right there. So my final thoughts on this are just, if you're worried about what other people are doing, you're going to get crushed. Just as simple as that. You're going to get crushed. So don't worry about what other people are doing. Worry about what you're doing and what's working for you. You can get advice from other people whose opinions you trust, to help you maybe adjust what you're doing. But you should not worry about what other people are doing. You should simply worry about what you have to do, about your goals, about your tasks that you need to accomplish. Focus on the tasks, on the work, on the things that actually will move you forward. Build your foundation, build your business, build your network, build your connections, and your list. Your list. You build the list, you can communicate with people and send them everything you're doing, and it'll help grow what you're doing. Simple. Any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you hate hate this, you love this, let me know, please. Tell me anything that you want me to discuss with you. Any questions you have, leave them in the comments. All right, so that's going to be it for today. Again, my name is Gary, and I'm here to remind you to keep creating, keep pushing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.